Hi! We're back in the kitchen, dinner and drinks with a French 75. The name of the game today is Decadence. This French 75, gin and champagne, it's delicious. Star of the show though, lobster mac and cheese. I'm also gonna throw in a little bonuses that I found in the freezer to make this an even better mac and cheese. Let's get to cooking. Kitchen setup, here's what we got. Big pot of water that is going to boil. This is gonna heat up some milk. This is where our cheese is gonna go. And back here, we're going to make some guanciale. And in the fat from the guanciale, we're going to put our breadcrumbs in there that's gonna sprinkle on top of all the things. In our boiling water, we're gonna heavily salt it. And this is just standard kosher salt. Next, we're gonna heat up our milk. About a half a quart of milk. We'll heat that up. Awesome bubbling action going on here with our pasta water. So in goes an entire box of large elbow mac. And we will let that cook. Mac is getting there, which is good news. It's gonna get soft. They're just healthy sized. So I've heated up some milk here. We're gonna let that go. I gotta get 6 tablespoons of butter, and we're gonna melt 6 tablespoons of butter in our big pot for our cheese. First, we're gonna make a roux. I've made roux in the past, and they've always turned out terrible. So I'm hoping this doesn't turn out terrible. I'm now gonna take the pasta off of the water, off the stove, let it strain. Real exciting action right here, right now. You're looking at the side of a pot. And I'm gonna save about a cup of the pasta water just in case. This is what they call liquid gold. Butter is melted, it's time to start making our roux. Let's see how I do with the roux. We take half a cup with 6 tablespoons of butter, and we start to whisk. We're gonna do this for 2 minutes. There we go. All the butter is in with all the flour. Sometimes I'm good at this, sometimes I'm not. As I reach, I know I'm supposed to keep stirring. I wanted my French 75 while I do this. Ready for this? Multitasking. Stirring 2 times in 2 pots. The milk is warm, which is good. Also, everything's on low heat if you wanted to make this yourself. It's on a 2. Got about a minute to go. And you'll notice there's little flecks in the milk. It's because I put some fresh ground black pepper in there. I could have waited, but I didn't want to wait. I wanted it to go in there. Another 30 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So now the milk is going to get added into here. We're going to cook this for a little bit. My sink is getting full. Take another sip of our French 75 while we constantly whisk. Make sure you get everything off the sides too. No clumps, no glumps. No chumps. It is thickening up a little bit. And then coming soon, the star to our show, and then we're gonna let this sit for a little bit, because then we gotta add in, ooh, look at that, it is thickening up. Holy crap-a-moly! All right, so this is a good roux. Wow, all right. See, it's thickened up, that's great. Now let's bring in the real stars of the show. 8 ounces of cheddar cheese and 3/4? Almost a pound of smoked Gruyere. There we go. No cheese left behind. I found the label, it is Gruyere. All right, so let's get all this in there. So I'm gonna move this actually over to here and bring this bud up to the front. It almost has the consistency of gravy, but it'll be cheesy here in a second. I actually moved it off here. This was blasting me with heat, so I moved it back here so this can continue to melt a little bit. And now let's get our better than bacon guanciale in. Now I speak high praises of guanciale because instead of the pork belly, it's the cheeks, the mouth of the pig, and it's better than bacon. You can find it at Publix. It's called in America the pork jowl. But what we're going to do, you're going to see they're going to decrease in size. And just like bacon, there's going to be a lot of fat that gets at the bottom of this pan. And that's where we're going to throw in our breadcrumbs. Cheese isn't fully melted yet, but it should get there. I want everyone to see the travesty that has befallen me. It has fallen in the cheese. It has succumbed to the cheese. So, bigger whisk. Probably should have used this one from the start. All right, look at our pork jowl or guanciale. I'm sure you're tired of hearing me say that word. All the fat that's rendered out of these things. It's going to play nicely with our breadcrumbs. And what I'm going to do is just let them drain for a little bit. Ow. Some splatter just hit my middle finger on the hand that is over the hot pan. And it's going to go into our cheese. Let's mix them in. Look at all of that glorious gold. This whole decadent meal is filled with glorious gold. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to throw an exorbitant amount of breadcrumbs in here. What do I mean by that? I mean, start with 1 cup and see what happens. And we're just going to kind of toast these, but I want them to also soak up all that flavor. I know you may not like that sound, but I had to use the other tong. Actually, here. There we go. Oh, 1 cup worked. So sure, you could just toss in normal breadcrumbs, but I think by soaking up, you're just leaving flavor on the pan. It literally soaked every bit of it up. And this is gonna be awesome on the top of our mac and cheese. We still have 1 more star and a guest appearance by another thing coming our way. Let's tackle our lobster tails. So in order to get everything off, you have to cut like down the side. There we go, I got it. Of the lobster tail. And you gotta use your best kitchen scissors to do this. Okay, so we got that one. Go in. There we go. Maybe. Yep. And then you want to take all the leggies off. And you just rip that off. Look at that. See it? All the leggies come off. And then this should come right out. I left a little bit of meat behind, but it's okay. We're going to chop it up. And voila. There it is. Ow! It got me. Okay. And we're just going to do chunks. And hopefully get this, whatever this is, gross part off. Alright, so we're going to cut them into smaller pieces so there's even lobster everywhere. And there we go. We took the lobster off of the tail. Now it is time to put the mac in the cheese. Let's give everybody a little mix around. I'm hoping that this pot is big enough. I started to worry a little bit about an hour ago. Can you hear that? It's gloopy. There we go, that's better. Better than a whisk. Make sure everybody gets mixed in. And then, in comes the star of the show. You guys ready? Shrimp. Let's mix them in. Oh, this is gonna be good. And now it's time for the headliner. Our lobster. Mix it all in. This is some ASMR type stuff right now. As I whisper softly into the camera. I've also killed the heat because I have an oven set to 375. We're gonna put this thing in there for 30 minutes. Let's bring on our cooking vessel, our baking vessel. And into this dish goes everybody. All right, now breadcrumbs. Nice even coverage. Again, keep in mind the breadcrumbs were covered in that pork jowl guanciale fat, which I am excited for. So there's our glorious lobster mac and cheese, setting a timer for 33 minutes. Into this scorching hot 375 oven. There we go. Close it. And move the wire. Start. We're about halfway done. Do you hear the sizzle? Ooh, bubble. It smells delicious. Okay, Christmas mitten is on. It is time to get into the oven. Let's grab our lobster mac and cheese with bonus guanciale and shrimp. It is bubbling. Oh, yeah. it down. Kick the oven shut. Kicked it shut. All right. Can you hear that? Fantastic. Let's dig in. Oh, it's so crunchy. Don't touch the hot thing, dummy. Oh my goodness. All right, so here is our lobster mac and cheese. So let's just dig in. That's a shrimp for sure. Mmm. Oh, goodness. Mmm. This is next level. So mac and cheese is good. This is way better. The crunch. I want another bite, and then we'll say goodbye. Wow. So this is gonna be the new way we end the video, where I just say goodbye to you. That was absolutely brilliant. Loved everything about it. From our lobster mac and cheese with surprise guests of guanciale and shrimp. Also, this was a French 75, but I ran out of ice, so now it's just a glass of champagne. Decadence beyond decadence. Look, thanks so much for watching. If you check the link in the description, you'll be able to see all of our links for dinner and drinks. You can see how we made the French 75 on TikTok and Instagram Reels. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you make some of this stuff, because lobster mac and cheese at home should be the new mac and cheese at home. Thanks for watching. Bye. Pop the champagne.